in the garage doing a little bit of cleaning, listening to the radio, and I got to thinking about the Iowa caucus tomorrow, and was thinking about the debate on Fox the other day, and there was something that came out, and it hasn't gotten a whole lot of traction, especially on Fox, considering Fox was kind of front and center on this. Something I've always noticed about Marco Rubio is he's very rehearsed in what he says. It's like he talks so fast and he's so scripted. He almost sounds like a B-movie actor trying to get his lines out before he forgets them. And what came out is after the Fox debate, there was a guy, and I think his name, he works at Fox. He was one of the guys that put all the questions together. One of the senior political guys. I think it was Bill Sammons. I could be wrong about that name, but his daughter. Okay, this guy, I think his last name was Sammons, works at Fox News. He's one who kind of put the debate questions together. His daughter works on the Rubio campaign. Now, a lot of folks think that Rubio had a better night than Ted Cruz did. And it got me wondering, the establishment hates Ted Cruz. Fox News, they want to be fair and balanced, but I think there's a lot of people over there that would prefer Ted Cruz not be president. So how convenient would it be if the Sammons guy put the questions together, gave them to his daughter who worked for Rubio. Rubio gets the chance to rehearse his questions and come up with slick answers and everything else as a way to undermine Ted Cruz. But guys, here's what you think about this on Marco Rubio. And this is where I'm going to just take Marco Rubio to task a little bit here. I don't care how well you think he is on foreign policy and how gifted he thinks he is and that he's got the right answers. You listen to where he is on the single most important issue, immigration. And here's what I mean. This is a guy who co-sponsored, he was a Tea Party darling who said, no to amnesty, no. Then he gets in the Senate and he cuts a deal with Chuck Schumer, that schmuck from New York, okay? So he cuts a deal with Chuck Schumer, and they co-sponsor this Gang of Eight amnesty bill, which was a train wreck. It was a disaster. So his whole claim to fame, the biggest thing he ever did was he sponsored amnesty and tried to ram it through. And and of course he runs for president. He backs off it. Now he's back into it. He comes out, and you all heard him say, if you listen to it, well, look, you can't deport 11 million people. Yes, you can. Bill Clinton, in 8 years, deported 12 million people. George W. Bush, in 8 years, deported 10 million people. But because the fence, which we paid for in 2006, was never built, they just come right back in. It's catch and release, catch and release. That's why we need a fence, and you deport them, and they stay deported. No, Marco, you don't get to sit here and pick winners and losers. They all came here illegally. They all should go back. Plain and simple, the law is applied fairly and equally to everybody. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Matter of fact, Marco, now I'm going to address Marco. Your Gang of Eight bill was so stupid that you had a provision in it that these MS-13 gang members, the worst of the worst, all they had to do, if they came here illegally, okay, all they had to do, and you couldn't prove they committed a crime, is just raise their hand and say, I'm not part of the gang anymore, Judge. And they could get amnesty. That's how simple it was in Marco's bill. How stupid is that? Okay? That's how naive, Puss in Boots. That's his new name. Oh, Marco Rubio, Mr. Puss in Boots. He's an amnesty guy. Now let me ask you. He thinks he's a conservative. He's not. Because let me tell you, how can you be a conservative and claim that you hold all these values sacred, that these are your core principles, but then want to turn around and legalize millions of people that will never support your ideology. Because if you legalize them, you have now just massively shifted the voter base, and you won't have conservatives, in positions of authority anymore. Look, Ronald Reagan granted amnesty in 1986. He signed Simpson-Mazzoli, and in 30 years, I've told you people, do not listen to these speeches. Every one of them lies. To what degree, you have to figure out. I've just found that Ted Cruz is the most truthful of them. Look, they passed an amnesty bill in 86. And in that bill, there was amnesty, but there was supposed to be border security and worker verification and all the same things they talk about now. We got the amnesty, we got nothing else. We got millions of more illegals. That's all we got. And Marco Rubio is a damn liar if he's going to look at you and say, I'm going to enforce the border, and then, but we got to allow the people that are here to stay, because that's the right thing. No, because you know what? Here's exactly what will happen. Mark my words. Mark my words. Here's what Marco, that little Puss in Boots lying son of a bitch, won't tell you. And Marco, you can respond to my video if somehow you find this, far off, video. Look at the American people and say, I'm going to secure the border, but then I'm going to put a pathway to citizenship. And I'll guarantee you this, that as president, when I do that, it'll be so secure that when I leave, no president shall ever dare ignore the border again. Really? Because here's what will happen. Marco Rubio, if he gets his way, he's gonna, he may be tough on the border while he's president, but when he's gone, boom, business as usual. We'll get another schmuck like Obama, okay? And then we'll have 11 million people on the pathway to citizenship, and we'll get another 11 million people back in here again that don't respect our borders, don't respect our culture. They bring in crime. They don't read, write, speak the language. They are a burden on society. I'm saying it plain and simple. They fill our prisons. They suck on our welfare system. They clog up our schools. Look, if you don't read, write, or speak the damn language, you're going to slow everyone else down that's in there. How many times do you see these little kids, at all ages, they're running around wherever. It might be Walmart, it might be the YMCA, and they all are speaking Spanish. They don't speak English when they're in here. You ever hear them? When you're in Rome, do as the Romans do? They don't appreciate our culture. They don't want to assimilate to the culture. They want to leech off it. And this isn't an absolute for everybody, but I'm not going to make exceptions. Look, you want to come here legally. There is a legal process. It may be long, it may be arduous, but if you love this country the way you claim, then get in line and do it the right way. It's that simple. And to hell with all you politicians, including Donald Trump. You're a screw-faced, who was a yellow-faced windbag. I think that was Rand Paul's line. Donald Trump's a damn liar on the border. That man has made so much money off using illegal labor, it's pathetic. He's using it right now, building his hotel. But I don't want to make this about him. He's a frickin' orange-faced windbag. He sucks. He's an idiot. But Rubio, I'm here to tell you, don't listen to this guy. He's a Trojan horse. He's dirty. He's an establishment guy. Why do you think they fed him the questions beforehand? So he could be rehearsed. So he could get his B-actor lines out before he forgot them. That's why people think he won. I mean, I'm Marco Rubio and I'm going to read this script. That guy doesn't talk from the heart. He talks from a script. So, Iowa, think. New Hampshire, think. The rest of you states, think. Think before you vote. Listen to what I'm saying. And even if you prefer one of these candidates, think about it and question yourself and say, hey, is this guy half right, 10% right? I want to look into this. Look into it. I have. I've looked at all the candidates. So, like I said, I was cleaning my garage and it just kept chewing at me. So I washed my hands and I came up here and just did this video. I'm going to throw it out there for your consumption. View it at your own risk or view it at your own leisure. Make your own decision. But at least look at the history and consider what I say. All right? Appreciate you watching.